There's a weird darkness with friendship because, sometimes like you need like a friend or friends to get you out of a hole or out of a rut of what you used to see in the world as, and then they expand, like,
get you over the psychological wins.
Yeah, they get you over there. So exposure leads to expansion. It's not a nice thing. It's not something you even want to talk about. It's something that at home you got to just deal with it by yourself and kind of like, thank God I got art and to create music, and I put it on wax.
Wow.
I mean, I guess I'm just proud to be from New York so much that's why rap is so hard.
Sliding in the studio, my album coming soon. Until we get this rap money, trap gon' have to boom. These bricks and these keys and these zips is what we'll do. If you need some fire, I can see you off the juice.
This is the first time in the podcast that we start, and I don't have my headphones on, but it's cool. It's a special occasion and it's a special day. Just because you woke up and you're live and you're watching my podcast, but it's also a special day because we have Prototype on the Heir Cast for the first time in our lifetimes.
Big time.
But definitely not the last. For the record, for the track, and most importantly, for the cast. Before I started the podcast, I actually had this complejo. For those that don't know Spanish, that's like a complex, an insecurity, for better words, about not rapping on the podcast. But the truth is, eventually we might start rapping on the podcast. Here and there I rhyme naturally, and it just happens. As a poet, it just comes out. And that's crazy because I got a poet on here.
Big time.
Prototypes, pushing P, pushing poems.
Pushing pro.
You're such a pro. that was a professional thing to do right there. Hell yeah, man. Dog, so we're here on the Heir Cast. On the Heir Cast, we start with the important questions because the people, the world, the fans, the pros. I think you should call the fans, if you don't already do that, the pros. Those are all the pros. If you're a fan of Prototype, you're a pro.
You might have brought something new so I could use.
That's what we do here on the Heir Cast. We bring things new.
So what was the question?
I didn't ask it yet. The important question is, you're the Prototype, right?
Correct.
Has there ever been another rap name before the Prototype, or has it always been the Prototype? Was there a Prototype name to the Prototype?
Yeah, there was. It was J-Dog.
J-Dog.
Yeah, because, I was like, Snoop Dogg was Snoop Dogg, and I was like, my name starts with a J, so I was like, I'm J-Dog. J-D-A-W-G. And that was very short.
How'd you spell dog? Was it D-O-G?
No, it was D-A-W-G.
Oh, yeah, my bad. D-A-W-G.
J-Dog.
D-A-W-G. So, yeah, straight up like that. Did you do the hyphen?
The one, the only.
But, like, did you do
No,
that?
it just had space.
Cool. And then you rocked that for how long? Like,
it was short. Months.
So, months. And then Prototype came after?
Come on, bro.
Prototype was middle school. Well, so the story behind Prototype was in middle school, I had ran into people who was recording on CDs for the first time in my life. I was like, I thought this was big time.
On CDs?
Yeah.
So they were recording and they had physical CDs they were putting out?
Yeah, because before I was just recording on karaoke tapes. So it was just karaoke tapes.
What is a karaoke tape, my brother? I don't know what that is.
So just recording on a cassette off a karaoke machine, and I would rap to like instrumentals you would buy at the time was what, Eckerd's? You would buy the singles.
How do you get those instrumentals on this karaoke tape? Like, you're talking about like a little box that's like a karaoke thing?
No, because back then the karaoke used to have the microphone you could attach to it with a cassette player, and it could have been the singles had the instrumental, had the clean edit. Had the radio edit, and it had the.
So you're.
This was what I was. This was.
So you're recording on the record that comes in the product. It's the actual record.
Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. And I got the.
And my question is, so when you record vocals,
which is actually children's story.
So this is really like way back. I was Make It Hot, Missy and them. Like
so let me ask you something. So when the record, when that record comes in the physical package, and you put it in your karaoke equipment.
Yeah.
That's what's the product? What's the?
It was a karaoke machine that you had two cassettes on each. Had two cassettes.
Dual cassette karaoke.
Dual cassette karaoke machine.
So
that was the only way I could record a rapping and hear myself play back.
Because you had a second record.
I had the CD cassette playing and I was pressing record and I was rapping to the microphone.
Gotcha.
On a dynamic microphone.
So and my question that I want to ask. And my question that I want to ask you is that, so when you record on that on that time, you could never go back and change it? Besides deleting it, or
No,
how
it was
does-
one. It was one take. It was freestyle
one
take.
take, Jake.
Yeah, it was no writtens. It was just freestyle. It was, you know what I'm saying? It was just
Unless
whatever you felt.
Unless you knew that was a moment that, unless you knew that was gonna be the situation, and you knew it was, this is the one time I'm gonna have to, the one shot I have to record it. Let me have the lyrics written so I could just hopefully get it as good as I can.
This was pre.
if not just freestyle.
This
like
was
you're saying,
pre.
just
Yeah,
rock.
this was pre middle school. Like,
Tremendo pressure.
you're just gonna rap.
Yeah, you're just
Mess
who.
up, you bring it back all the way to the
You're
top.
just gonna start. You're gonna start over.
And
If
now
it-
you-
No editing
Oh,
in the middle or
Oh,
anything.
so
no.
if you-
So
if you're not satisfied and it's still recording, you have the luxury of saying, "All right, restart," and then that's your one.
you have to rewind it. You have to
But if you
rewind.
just accidentally save it, you can't. You're fucked. If you
It
you're
saves
stuck.
It automatically,
It
but
says-
the tapes were a technology that you can record over.
The tapes were a technology that you can record over.
Yeah, you just rewind the tape and it starts from
And it'll
0
continue.
seconds.
Yeah, but if you screwed it up, you had to start all over.
All right, exactly.
With no editing. In the
So
middle.
and then to play the hook from number one, you will have to change the song, and hopefully you got it on right. So that the chorus and the verse,
Yeah, no, you
and then the chorus again, it sounds all
you
skippy.
had to re-record it again. Yeah.
So you
But
have to re-record
it sound
again.
very
You
off.
flying the chorus back then?
Yeah, trying to fly the.
No, you're a pro.
Even if you did it, even
He
if,
is a pro. He's the prototype.
but even if you did it, it's gonna be off no matter what. You're never gonna get it.
I used
lost
to do
quality
things like
all
that
the
because I
time.
was a beast. But that was just me. My bad.
No, we're good. It's my bad. So, anyways,
So
lost
this,
quality.
let me run it. Let me
Yeah,
wrap
so-
around to where prototype came. So that's
Gotcha.
how I was recording first.
you're recording there as J Dog. Right. For months.
My cousin Aunt Duke got that tape somewhere in New York. He told me,
And
but
Duke.
Aunt Duke.
And Duke.
But he got the tape unraveled, so we need somebody to help
And
us.
Duke, if you're listening,
Try
and
that.
we know you are,
Yeah.
we're gonna need that tape if you got it somewhere.
So when I got to
So all we need to know-
when I got to middle school, these kids were rapping on CDs. They were recording on Adobe Premiere. They were recording on Adobe Premiere, and
It's
that on the
crazy.
CD at the time was like, wait, y'all on CDs? I thought it was cool. They was rapping on the Nuck If You Buck beat.
Knock if you buck one of the gangsters beats.
So
of
that
all
was the
time.
first beat that I
Premiere?
Adobe
my
Premiere,
God.
Adobe Audition.
Adobe Audition, Adobe Audition. Yeah,
Adobe
facts.
Audition. Wow.
Adobe Audition was the first doll that I ever seen with my eyes.
Adobe's so universal. They got everything.
Way back then.
They got Adobe.
So when I
Crack.
got with this group, we tried to come up with a group called Foul Play. Shout outs to we all came up with names by reading dictionaries and thesauruses. We had pocket dictionaries and thesaurus. That's is the origin of my name.
And how do you go through the? How do you dictate going through the dictionary of thesaurus? Are you starting from A to Z?
You're
or are
starting
you
from
just
A-
randomly shuffling?
Nah, you're starting from A to Z. Like you're looking like what makes sense and what sounds cool. Like my boy had a name I think it was Chaos. And
Chaos.
Yeah,
Let's see.
was one of the names, and then my name was Prototype because the first definition I ever seen of prototype was first of its kind,
First of its kind.
and I was like, that's it.
That's crazy. I searched the definition of prototype in research for this podcast, and now I'm being asked for the lighter, which I don't have in my pockets.
Got it.
And he has it. So that's what happens. That's what we do here on the Heir Cast. We ask for lighters when it's in your pocket.
Stop.
He's telling me to stop. That's
I mean-
it's also what we do on the podcast. We tell me to stop.
People that smoke never have lighters.
So, bro, listen. We're talking off air before, and there's a difference with podcasts. There's two kinds of podcasts. There's an interview podcast, and there's a vibe podcast. There's a vibe, but you're just hanging out. We're having fun. And my goal is to always do both. Is to have an interview vibe where we're getting informative, you're learning, but I also love the idea of having a vibe and having a good time. And you're my dog, and I feel playful, and I want to play a game. So I'm gonna name some names to you, and I want you to know what they all have in. I want to ask. The game is, what do they all have in common? Okay.
All right.
And I'm just gonna go off, and there's way more. These are just some of the ones that stood out. And all right, Grandmaster Flash.
Hip hop legend.
No. Let me
Okay.
just go off the whole list, and then I want you to. What do they all have? In
Oh, you're
common?
about to name a
In
few.
Common. I want
Got
to
it,
know
got
what
it.
they all have in common that you think. Grandmaster Flash, Romeo Santos, Ice Spice,
Oh, I know where you're going.
Kai Cenat,
The
A
egg.
Boogie,
Okay.
Lindsay Lohan, Woody Allen, Romeo Santos, J Lo.
He did good on this one. This is good. This is good. I already
Did I
know.
already say Grandmaster Flash? That tripped me out off the roof because I didn't know.
That's good. You
Oh.
should have said Cool Herc too.
That was, I have that on the list. This guy's a psychic, obviously. It's
Yeah, you
Prototype,
shoulda-
the
yeah,
psychic.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige.
Uh-huh.
I said Lindsay Lohan already because that blew my mind.
You should
too.
say Jim Jones too.
Jim Jones, and he already won the game. The game was, what do all these people have in common? And
The Bronx, where the hip hop was made.
Prototype. That was the next name in the list, but at this moment you won the game, so
Yeah.
I was gonna throw you in that list.
That's
and
where
be
hip hop was made.
What do they all have in common?
Yeah, the Bronx. They're from the Bronx.
That's crazy. So how long did you live in the Bronx?
It was short. I mean, I moved here before I was the age of 6, 7 years old. I mean, I guess I'm just proud to be from New York so much that's why rap is so hard. You know, just being from, you know, the biggest city in the world, being from the Bronx, an iconic spot. I hold that-
Iconic. So
Yeah.
iconic, and I knew it was iconic before all these names, just from the legend and the, you know, I was about to say propaganda for lack of better words. It's not propaganda. It's I've never been there, but it's like it's so many stories.
What does
I've seen
propaganda start with?
One of my favorite movies and one of our early episodes on the podcast is all around about the Bronx Tale, and we have a whole like 20-minute bit where we didn't even know we were talking about the Bronx Tale, but we were talking about the Bronx Tale. Like the Bronx is so legendary in my eyes that I've never even set foot there yet. So I tripped out because doing my research for this podcast, you know, from the Bronx, and then all these people are from the Bronx, and that's crazy. And you know, not as many legends are from Hialeah yet, but you know, I feel that way, and I feel that honor and proud and that pride from the place I'm from, and for better or for worse, because now that I'm getting a little bit older, and we're both artists, so I like to have this conversation, on some like let's better ourselves, almost like a constructive criticism or constructively critical conversation to have, because I've done that for a long time, and I had one person, I don't even remember who this person was. It might have been like a drunk, wasted situation in the club, and we're just having a conversation about music, and somebody told me that they were listening to the records, and they're like, yeah, that's a raw record, yeah, it sounds really good, and I love Hialeah, but the thing is, not everybody's from Hialeah. And like I want to relate to it, but I'm not from Hialeah. But I get it. It's cool. It's good. Yeah. And that stuck with me. And I was mad young. Like I wasn't even supposed to be in the club I was in. You know, like that's how young I was. And it just stuck with me. This guy had no like music acumen. Like he wasn't making music. He was just a consumer. He was a civilian, like some artists like to say. And you know, I love being proud about where we're at. And you're a gangster because you don't even talk about it. In the records I've heard, like it's not so much a thing you're putting out on music, but I kind of step on it. I make it a brand. THC, the Hialeah Chico. You know?
Oh, Hialeah all day. Don't get it twisted.
Exactly, and it's so hard
Yeah.
not to make it about it because I feel like Hialeah is bigger than Compton, bigger, you know, no offense, but the Bronx. That's how you're supposed to feel, like in anything.
Hialeah
in
all
life,
day.
You know, be proud, exactly. That's fire. Hialeah or the Bronx?
Hialeah or the Bronx?
Hialeah or the Bronx, if you have to pick one.
If I had to pick one? Oh,
If
I'm picking.
Thanos came and he's like, I'm snapping one, where are we snapping?
Oh, no, I'm picking Hialeah.
To be snapped?
Yeah, because everybody I know
No, to
it-
survive. To survive.
to survive in,
Like, so if Thanos comes back and he's like, I'm snapping Hialeah or the Bronx.
which is knocking them out.
Yeah. Who are we knocking out? Hialeah
Oof.
or Thanos or her?
Oof, because if
Thanos
you
or
knock out the
Bronx?
history in the Bronx, a lot of shit gets erased.
No, I mean it's still gonna be there, but like it's just done. It's not there. No
It's
more.
just done?
Yeah, it's just J-Lo doesn't even live in the Bronx. None of those people I named live
No,
in the
she's
Bronx.
probably eating croquetas in Hialeah.
Yeah, a lot of the people I named on the list don't live in the Bronx.
Yeah.
So Thanos is snapping the Bronx.
Not available.
That whole city's just
The
gonna. go
answer is
away.
not available.
Oh, it's not available. I love that. I love that. I love that. Full circle moment because on one of our earlier episodes with 2 a.m. Grills,
Shout outs to 2 a.m.
you know 2 a.m.
Of course, I got a song with him. Woof. Way back when, before his name was not 2 a.m.
Grills, yeah.
Yeah.
His name was Grills.
Yeah.
It's my dog. He's been on the podcast 2
Shout outs
times
to
at this moment.
Skywalker, too. That's how I met Grills.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy through that group. Okay, cool. Hell yeah.
Flight Squad, right?
Yeah, that was the name of the group, Flight Squad. They came to my dad's studio. One of my first. So growing up in life, my dad always had a recording studio, and he always, you know, enticed me with the opportunity. Like, Bob, we have a studio. Invite your friends to want to make music, this and that. And then one of the first people I was Dead Broke. Shout out my guys, Dead Broke. And then Flight Squad are one of the second like full-on groups that came like squatted deep that I met through school, and I was like, yeah, come through. And my dad always gave me that opportunity so I can make a little bit more money on top. And you know, it was more to really show me entrepreneurship or show me, hey, do your thing. It's not like I even had bills at the time. I had chores around the house. My parents looked out for me. It was awesome. It was just another way to have some extra money to, be an asshole. But it was cool just to, give my friends opportunities. I've met so many countless people through that shouldn't have been making music. But it's cool to give them the opportunity. Everybody deserves to try. Maybe it's not for you,
I had a session with Dead Broke too, and Flight Squad.
Yeah, man. RP
Small
Stutter. First
world.
time I say that on the podcast. RP Stutter. Yeah, man. RP Stutter. I want to get emotional. I want to vibe. The purpose in life is.
The purpose of life is joy. Because you go through every mood in life, but you want to, be more joyful than anything else in life. That's the purpose of life.
I love that. I thought you were going to say to find your purpose, like you said on the record.
The purpose of life
Is to find your purpose, right?
That's true. Which is your purpose should be joy.
Yeah.
That should be the purpose of life. Yeah.
And finding the outlet to get to joy.
Yeah.
Finding how do you get there. Everybody has a different route and path. Joy is different. Like earlier with Bake Pliskin, I tried to have that conversation. Like, what is success to you as an artist? For me, when I was younger, I was like, when I make it to freshman top 10, I know I'm going to be in the game, and that's success to me. Like, I know I'm doing something. Like, I don't care what anybody says. Oh, it's a good song. Like, that doesn't make nothing to me. Until the world knows and everybody knows, and I know, and my friends just say, yeah, you're doing good too, then I know I'm doing something. And I for a time, it was double XL. Now I'm like, Hot Ones. When I get on Hot Ones, I'll be like, okay, I'm in the game. But the truth is, I'm already rich. I'm already successful. I'm already wealthy. I'm chasing my dream. I'm giving people a platform. I'm giving myself a platform. Even if success or not, the point is I'm trying, and that's success in my sense, But to that same idea, like that definition changes for a lot of people, just like what we're talking about now. That definition changes for me. So,
hearing yourself on wax is like the biggest dream. Just to be able to record a record was like, oh damn, wasn't that what we was all wanting to do? And then when you heard it, it was like, damn, I did it, and it wasn't that hard as you thought,
Well, in music terms, you mean, right? Because nowadays everybody gets a podcast. Now, I have so many clips on social media, and you don't know how many people are chiming in, like strangers saying, this is why nobody should have a podcast. Oh, and I also see other people with podcasts, and I see comments on social media, like Benzino. Shout out Benzino if you're listening, and I know you are, my guy, UB son, yeah, it's my guy. Well, I met Benzino when I was young. But he said this on he was saying something on the Miami podcast, We in Miami podcast recently, and I saw a comment saying everybody in Miami should just have their microphones taken away. And I saw that and I was like, bro, you haven't even seen my full episodes yet. What are you talking about? Relax. But anyways, like a lot of people say like not everybody should have a platform, and at one moment I said that when I was starting the podcast, I was like, no, I don't think so and so should maybe come on the podcast. So maybe people don't have to hear what he has to say. And no, the truth is everybody does. Everybody should have the opportunity. Now, this is my podcast, and this is Daddy's house, so I get to choose who comes on my podcast. My dad and my friends and my family have influence on who gets to come on the podcast too. But yeah, so everybody should have the opportunity to go chase. And if nobody's giving you the platform to talk, make the platform. Make the platform. Be the change you want to see in the world. So anybody listening that wants to get on the podcast and maybe you can't, reach out. And if I just don't want you on the podcast, that doesn't mean don't stop chasing your dream of getting on a podcast. Just get on somebody else's podcast or make your own podcast. Hop in the game. Either way.
Unless you make it happen.
You can't happen unless you make it happen.
That's a new dream.
OG White Boy just said that. One of the podcast most reoccurring guests at this moment. Yeah, he's up there. It's him and Freshie. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, I love this podcast. We just vibe, have a good time. It's like 20 minutes in, we haven't even got into the questions I had preset. But yeah.
Spent all day on.
My dad says, whose fault is that? It's my fault. But we're climbing out of the hole I built ourselves. But the key is we're promoting Climbing Out, which is a new song by Prototype. Out now. Streaming everywhere. Check it out here. What was the process of making that record? How do you look at making a record? Do you come at it first? When I first started making music, I just came at like, oh, how do I make bars? How do I make a 16? Then eventually it's like, okay, how do I make a rhyming chorus? And now it's melodies. What's the vibe? What's the and now
Yeah,
like I
clip
feel
that. That's a melody. Clip that.
yeah, clip that, clip that.
Clip
Hell
that.
yeah. So that's how that's how I approach music.
Yeah, that's a hook.
Is that how you approach music?
If I don't catch something instantly, I gotta change the record.
What do you mean catch something? So that means you need to hear the beat first.
Yeah.
So you're not writing things just naturally. You're like, oh, that's a cool idea for a song. You need to hear the beat. Like you're so, and I love that organic. Kendrick, shout out Kendrick if you're listening, and we know you are Kendrick Lamar. He said that one time in an interview. Like, I only make music if it's organic. We gotta be in the studio at the time, in the moment. I don't take records home. I don't write verses at the crib and take them out. I don't do nothing like that. And he said that like when I was in high school, just starting making music. And I was like, wow, I get that. That's true. And I feel that way with when I want to make features and collaborations with people. Yes, it's one thing to have an open verse for a song I've had done for a long time. You're gonna sound great on, cool. But to me, the real fun, the real game is let's lock in and do something from the top. Let's hear multiple beats or maybe one beat, whatever. Let's hear beats together and look at each other and be like, that's the one, and throw it on and be like, what's the idea? You got something? Or the best is when you're just freestyling and you just can't hold and you can't bottle it up and you just go. You got something too, and we're just vibing and a record comes from that. My favorites like that. That's the best moments.
The process is so different all the time, though.
All the time.
Like,
so do you have a go-to way? Like, what's the average way you approach it?
If I'm by myself, I'm playing like maybe samples or some loops, or I'm searching for instrumentals, or somebody might send me a batch, and if I don't get something in the first 2 minutes while I'm playing the record, like next, because it gotta be something that clicks fast
Immediately.
Yeah. If it takes too long, maybe I hear it tomorrow, maybe I get it. But
when you know, you know.
Yeah, and then collabs is kind of up and down. Obviously, if you come up with an idea instantly, then that's gonna feed me to want to.
It's easier. It's funner. It honestly, it's funner because like, oh, that's your idea, and then immediately you could just go and unleash all of your ideas and all your perspectives on that idea. That's cool. But the true game, the true hardcore part is being solo dolo and just, what am I gonna do? It's a beat, or sometimes it's just an idea, and like I do both. Sometimes the beat inspires the idea. A lot of times I have the idea, I'm like, what beat is gonna, complement this idea to get this, to facilitate this message and this vibe that I got, and just go from there and create the record from there. So I love to, now that I have this platform to vibe with other artists, I like to get in your minds and see how do you do it, because I suck.
The conversation prior to the session creates a song too.
In what? The conversation
whatever
prior to the session, like it inspires it. Like,
whatever we talking about, that's what the song be about. The song might be about what we just spoke about for example, an hour.
Like an artist comes in and he's like, "Man, my girlfriend's so sad. I can't believe this. Whatever. I gotta make this." And a bunch of single
dudes gonna talk about that story he's talking about.
And everybody's like, but or yeah.
I'm gonna chime in.
He makes a sad record. He makes a heartbroken record, or. Like OG White Boy, a guy's going through, crazy relationship drama, and he's doing his thing in life, and he's like, man,
back outside.
All these crazy B words. Yeah, he says B word off camera, but yeah, all these crazy B words are crazy, and crazy B words streaming soon, or streaming now probably. By the time this episode comes out, it'll probably be streaming.
That process is different all the time, and then if you want to make sure you really, really caramelize the record, you might want to take it home. And
what an adjective, caramelized. That's a great word to describe.
Put the sauce on it.
Yeah, put the sauce on it. OG White Boy just said off camera. That's crazy,
That's
bro.
a factual fact.
That's a factual fact. I wanted to ask this later, but
hashtag that.
Speaking of hashtags, what is a psychological win?
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That's what she said. Pause.
I love that. Psychological win is there's a story behind that, right? We don't have to get into it, but
get into it if you want. It's your podcast. This is your world. We're just living in
it. Psychological win is a barrier that you had placed, an imaginary barrier that you had, and you have to climb out of it. That's a psychological win. And a lot of that I got to give credit to you, because even something as small, I won't really get into detail, but something as small as like...
Wait, hold on. Do you want to get into detail?
Nah, there's no importance in that
Alright,
because
perfect.
yeah, there's no importance in that. But just when somebody pushes you to go do something that you thought was so big, pause. And
No Diddy. My dad just said, "Hey yo, that's crazy."
hey yo, hey yo, shout outs to the Boondocks. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm thinking of Riley. What would Riley say?
He says that. I got that.
No, he just said something else after that.
Oh.
Hey, N-word, you. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We're gonna cut to it right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Nigga, you gay. You gay. Y'all niggas are gay. Nigga, you gay. That's gay.
And we're back.
But psychological win is just getting over fear. That's a psychological win.
Yeah, I love how you describe that. We put mental walls, mental barriers, and don't get me wrong. There's good barriers. There's good walls. Sometimes you have to. Hey, you can't cross the line.
Hey,
I love friends. I love getting playful. I love hugging. I love good hugs. I'm
shout
a
outs to
hugger.
all the girls that got good walls.
I have a day gig and I work remotely, and there's a lot of people I've known for 3-4 years and I've never met them in person. And I met somebody like that recently,
He skipped over that one, right?
and we hugged, and I told them, I was like, I'm a hugger too, and it was great. She was awesome and she's a great person. And
You was hugging her walls?
No, but a lot of people. So okay, hold on. Wait a second. Whoa! If you're listening, I don't think you're listening.
We're adding some spice to that, No ice.
We're caramelizing it. A philosopher once said, "We're caramelizing it." Nah, but anyways, my point is that I'm a hugger and I'm a physical person, and to for better or for worse, I've had some people tell me, "Yo, stop." And like when I was younger, I'd be like, "Bro," like I'd punch people. I'd be like, "Oh, that's such a good joke," Like I didn't realize my own strength. But some people would be like, "Bro, you're hurting me. Stop!" And I didn't realize it. And now that I'm older, I realize that's crossing a line for other people, and I feel that way too. But like, not necessarily. If you're hitting me, like if it hurts, I'll just say, "Yo, a little softer, please." You're like, "You fucking mess with me," but like, it's okay. I get it. But anyways, I bring that up to say, like, my line is my face. Like, it's all fun and games, but don't slap my face. Like, don't hit me in my eyes. Don't do nothing. That's crazy. That makes me feel weird. That immediately makes me feel like, damn, hold on, this is crazy. Now you're slapping me. Now it's like, hey, what are you doing? That's crazy. I would never do that to nobody because it crosses a line. Now, if we're playing around, we're wrestling, we're touching, hey, that's different. I like that. I think that's fun. But immediately when you touch my face, it's like, oh, okay.
So you wasn't a big slap boxer?
I hated it. I freaking hate that. I hate that. Now that I'm older, I get it. And if we're boxers, like, that's like Max Holloway doesn't spar. He doesn't hurt himself when he's practicing for fights. And I get that. That's good to know the skill and get the movement, the rhythm of fast and counters and no. I get that. But when I was younger, no. If you want to do it, like, I preferred the body blow thing where we're just swinging at our bodies. But that's all silly. All that stuff was crazy, man. I have family members and loved ones that have passed away from play wrestling, and I'm not, I don't like to condone none of that stuff. RIP to my loved ones, man. Marcelo, RIP to my dog. First time I say RIP to Marcelo on my podcast. That's crazy. It's the title of the podcast. RIP with Prototype. No, I can't do that. That's bad vibes.
It's a little dark. Comedy.
That's a little dark.
That's a little Pete Davidson dark comedy.
Pete Davidson dark comedy. Shout out Pete Davidson if you're listening, and we know you are. Come through, man. So, Prototype was the name, and that's what got us here. Are you familiar with wrestling? Are you a fan of wrestling?
Yeah, I was a big wrestling fan. I had a bunch of
favorite wrestler.
My favorite wrestler.
Give me three. If you gotta give me three. No order.
The Rock.
Fire. That's my favorite. That's my number one.
Stone Cold.
That's crazy.
Undertaker. So
I bring up wrestling because John Cena. For me, my favorite is The Rock. My second favorite is probably John Cena. 3 is between Triple H. It's probably Triple H, yeah. And 4 is Shawn Michaels.
I can't fight with that. Triple H had...
I'm sorry, guys. What are you saying?
No Ric Flair?
Ric Flair? No, I love Ric Flair, but he's not in my top 3. So, OG White Boy loves Ric Flair. Clearly his favorite wrestler. I get that. You got to do a song called Ric Flair. Anyways. Yeah. So, the reason I bring wrestling up is because John Cena, my second favorite wrestler, you understand how wrestling works. They're artists. The idea is come with your own gimmick and rock. And how are you going to sell? You not just wrestle. And wrestling, it's an art in itself. It's like podcasting. It's an art form. You got to make the guy look good. You got to, you know what selling is?
Yeah.
Selling is I make, like, what would be your finisher if you were a wrestler? You have an idea for a finisher?
Ooh, shit. No,
I love the RKO. The RKO is one of the most.
You're saying like
gangster
using
things.
one that somebody already had?
Yeah, and a lot of finishers.
I
are
like
things people
submission. I
already
like
do.
submission holds more than
That-
anything.
so
'Cause
you're
when I used to wrestle, I used to
In real life, you used to
cripple-
wrestle.
Yeah, I used to wrestle
In high
at the
school?
crib with like
Oh, with friends.
with like my brother-in-law and doing Walls of Jericho, cripple crossface.
Walls of Jericho's a cool
I used to
move.
cripple crossface motherfuckers
the,
for real.
The Walls of Jericho is the name of that move is a Boston Crab. You call it the Walls of Jericho because of Chris Jericho. That was his finishing move, but that's called the Boston Crab. I just saw a UFC MMA fight where somebody submitted somebody with a Boston Crab, and his name was like Bolton, and they were like, "It's a Bolton Crab." Pretty crazy, yeah. So if you had to pick somebody else's finisher or maybe a real life submission move, what would be your finishing move? The wrestling name. Here, the reason I bring this up is because John Cena's first gimmick was Prototype. Before he became a white boy rapper, which was the second gimmick, his first gimmick with the WWE was a Prototype, and he came out he literally came out like this, like Michael Myers. Didn't talk.
Nah, I didn't know.
He walked up the stairs, walked in like a robot, and he just wrestled, and he like dominated people, but it didn't work. It was corny. So then he's like, "Oh, you guys don't like this? Can I rap? Is it okay if I rap? Can I be a wigger?" And they were like, "All right, Vince McMahon loves everybody." Hold on. Cut to a clip of Vince McMahon, one of the craziest clips of all time.
What's up, boss? How you doing?
Yeah. What's good in the hood?
Just holding it down, trying to take care of business.
Keep it up, my nigga.
Tell me he didn't just say that.
We're back. So anyways, Vince McMahon gave this guy the green light, and John Cena became my second favorite wrestler by that because he's a rapper, wrestler. My dream is I'm gonna try out for wrestling.
Well,
one day.
that's Rock did that first.
No, well, Rock got on the mic and did his thing.
Yeah, Wyclef, right? That's that record, right? It doesn't matter.
Oh, Wyclef did a record about The Rock?
With the what? Yeah, it's gonna play right now.
This is The
actually.
Rock
It's gonna-
kicking it with the refugee camp, and you're about to smell what The Rock is
Yeah,
cooking.
facts.
This is the first time in Aircast history that one of my guests
Uses
the power of the Aircast.
It doesn't matter. You remember that, right?
He just used the power of our own show against us.
So
I
he
love
was the
it.
first one. He was the first one on the mic. You said, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, listen. Ric Flair, OG White Boy's favorite wrestler, he's one of great examples of wrestlers being on the mic. There's a reason Hulk Hogan's not one of my favorite wrestlers. Because, well, he was cool on the mic, but the truth is, Macho Man Randy Savage was the star. He was the one that came on the mic and said, "Listen, brother." Like, you just listen to him talk. So like it's about selling yourself on the mic. That's why Conor McGregor's a great MMA fighter. It's selling yourself on the mic. So I'm gonna try for wrestling.
But that's why The Rock broke those barriers, because he's the
why he's
first
number
wrestler
one.
that came that brought hip hop into wrestling.
I don't know my wrestler name when I try out for wrestling, but when I do try out for wrestling, my gimmick is gonna be a mix of Eddie Guerrero with John Cena. I'm gonna be a rapping Chico, and I'm gonna be like just on some dirtbag Chico shit. I'm gonna be a heel. A heel is a bad guy. A babyface is a good guy. And yeah, I'm gonna be a heel.
And Scotty Too Hottie.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, yeah, Scotty. Oh, Scotty Tahati. I kind of remember Scotty Tahati as a face because he was a guy that got squashed.
He was doing the worm. Pause.
No Diddy. Yeah, I don't know what my finishing move would be. That's why I thought it was a cool question. But yeah, I wanted to see if you knew about the Prototype thing with John Cena because that was his shit.
I did not know, but that's cool though.
Shout out John Cena and shout out Apartment B9.
B9, legendary.
Can you explain that for those listening at home that don't know?
So all those apartments on the climb out video is
It's B9, right? That's the right one.
yeah, B9.
Okay.
Well, there's a few of those because that was my matter of fact, that's my mom's apartment. But B9 and most of those apartments on that same hallway, my family lived on 3 of them, so they were all neighbors.
You guys were all so. For those that don't know, in the climb out video, at the end of it, in the outro, he has a behind the scenes clip where he's vibing through the. He also has his family house in Hialeah, which is Miami home. But then he also, at the beginning, it starts with a clip in the behind the scenes portion with him in his Bronx home,
Which is where we climb out of. Like, that's where we climbed out of. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Yeah. So nobody's there now, right?
Out of the mud.
No, I still got a lot of family in New York.
But in that same building.
In that same building is nobody. Well, my uncle Sammy actually lives there, which is he's in the video, like giving us that tour again. Like
Word. Okay, that so he's still there. Okay, I was wondering if you just went back there as like a full circle moment. Full circle moment. But it's yeah, I was wondering if you had still people still out there, so you still have
I
somebody.
still got
in that
one
building.
relative in there, but everybody lived next door to each other. So from my grandma to my aunt to yeah, my grandma, my aunt, and my mom lived in the same 3-door radius, and then on the next building, my uncle lived there.
Your uncle.
So we was on the same block.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. Community, dog.
Yeah.
It takes a village, man. Yeah, that's honest moment. I kind of wish that. I kind of wish my family was a lot closer. I have family, and yeah, there's people in our family, but it's big. I'm blessed for the size of my family, but I just wish we all lived closer at one point. But you know, family's not just your blood; it's also who you make it. You know, it's the people you spend time with, the people you ride for, and it's like I have a lot of brothers, and it's like friends will lose term. You know, I had somebody tell me recently, "You don't have no friends," and I was like, first off, I have a lot of friends, and secondly, it's not about friends. It's about, you know, the people I consider friends. I consider family. It's my brothers and sisters, the people I love, and it's like that's more than a friend. A friend's an acquaintance, somebody I meet all the time. Like I just met you, like everybody. I'm friendly with everybody. Like, I guess you're a friend, right? You know, doesn't mean you're a brother. Doesn't mean you're sisters. I mean, I'm a ride for you, and I love you. Like I love my brothers and my sisters. It's crazy, man. But yeah, the power of friendship, man. It's beautiful. How do you feel about friends? That's crazy.
Alarm.
Yeah, I have an alarm to text somebody special.
How do I feel about friends?
Yeah, how do you feel about friends? Is that it's because I have my first album, the Stimulus Package. I have one of the first records I start with, and one of the last records I end with are songs about being solo dolo myself. And at the time, I was in a place where like a lot of lifelong friends of mine hurt me, and like those relationships ended. And I just, yeah, frenemies, like OG White Boy just said. At the time, I felt like that. But the truth is now, they're not frenemies. It's just the relationship soured and it ended. Things happened. The book closed. And I'm on to the next chapter or the next book. And but at the time of that project, great music. I love it to this day. I have one video out for one of the songs, and I want to make another video for the other song because of the idea, and it's so cool. But at the time, it came from a real place, and it came from being honest, and I felt really lonely, and I was like, I don't need friends. I just need like my blood family, and that's it. And I don't need to make no new relationships, and that's not true. That's wrong, and that was, and I hurt myself doing that because I love relationships with people, and that's the beauty of life. You're supposed to have relationships go on, and they're sometimes gonna sour, sometimes it's gonna go bad, but it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. So I kind of want to just dig into your mind, because I literally just came to that conclusion like in the last week. Like, yeah, bro, it's not even bad. Even the people that hate me, that's fine. Hate me all you want. I love you. What we went through taught me a lesson, for good or the worse. Whether it's my lesson or whether I taught you a lesson, I realized I got to be better. Or whether you hurt me and I realized I got to be better and not let people hurt me like that. You know, like, it's all a lesson, and it's all so, it's my journey. So who am I to be mad about that and be like, oh, I would change it? Like the guy has the tat in the movie, no regrets. Like, you know, I wish I had that, you know? So how do you feel about that? Like, friends, like...
There's a weird darkness with friendship because, you know, sometimes, like, you need, like, a friend or friends to get you out of a hole or out of a rut of what you used to see in the world as, and then they expand, like, you know,
get you over the psychological wins.
Yeah, they get you over there. So exposure leads to expansion. So
exposure leads to expansion. That is a bar. We're not gonna cut to it, but we're gonna have like a
shout out to
GIF.
Fred Taylor. That's Fred Taylor's in them. Like,
Fred Taylor?
Yeah, the football player.
Oh,
Jacksonville Jaguar from
crazy.
the pivot. Yeah. So that line sticks with me because sometimes people will get you there, and then all of a sudden, like, you never know. Like, somebody that was doing better than you, that was a friend, and then you kind of surpassed them because you just, like, you broaden your horizon, then you passed them, and then it's like, now they're behind, and that doesn't make sense to you and doesn't make sense to them. So sometimes you outgrow friends, even childhood friends, and it's kind of the saddest and ugliest part about life. And it's not that you don't love them, because you thank them, and a lot of people have got me to where I got, you know, where I am now, and without them I wouldn't be here. But sometimes you get smarter than people that even got you smart. And that's the darkness in friendship. And it's not that you care less. It's just like, I don't see the world like you because you're still seeing it how you were seeing it before.
You're not supposed to see but I feel like we're not supposed to see the world the same way. That's the beauty of life. We all have different perspectives, different views, in the same building but with different views. philosopher Aubrey Dre Graham said that. Yeah, we in the same building, but we got different views. So, and it's crazy. We could walk the same path, but got on different shoes. He literally says that, and it's legendary. But but the truth is, it's a crazy way to look at life, because we could be in the same building, we could be having the same conversation, we could be having the same moment, watching the same movie. I've recently learned in the last 3 years that we look at colors differently. What's pink to you is a different pink to me. What's green to you is a different green to me. Possibly, maybe we're lucky we're on the same page and we see the same colors, but it's not all the same for us.
But some people that were ahead of you never wanted you to get ahead of them.
So that's yeah.
You know,
that's a crabs in a bucket mentality, man.
That's real. That's like then that.
I don't know how far along we're in the podcast we are, but this little minute right now, you're on a streak right now. You're on a
so
hot
that's
run.
tough. Like that's not a cute. That's not the cute part of life. Like
my dad just said, "Let him cook. Let him cook." I love this.
Right
my
there.
dad has more young references than me.
You think they're with you, man, but they ain't. You know, they're right there beside
it's
you.
kind of it's not a nice thing. It's not something you even want to talk about. It's something that at home you got to just deal with it by yourself and kind of like. Thank God I got art and to create music, and I put it on wax.
Wow, that's such a powerful part of me. I always tell people I'm blessed and lucky that I have music as therapy to go through it. There's times I feel bad and I'm going through life, regular life. I always tell people, hey man, we're all human. We all have our human days. That's cool. I get it. We gotta cancel. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. I get it. You're mad. You're upset. You vent it and you let it out on me. I get it. I love you, man. I love you, woman. We're all good. I get it. We all have our chances and we all have our moments. We're all human. We're all allowed that. I super get that. Now, when it's a reoccurring thing, then okay, you're a human, but you're just kind of an asshole human. And that's natural too, but I just don't want to associate with an asshole human. But that's, it's normal and we're allowed that. But because you're on a hot run right now and because you're on a streak, I want to talk about other people that are on a streak. The Knicks. Greatest Knicks of all time. You're three.
Greatest top three in Knicks.
Knicks of all time.
Patrick Ewing.
The one? Do you want to put them in order or no? I'm not gonna give my three. So
it don't really matter.
All right, Patrick Ewing. Give me the next two and three. Only three. So the other rest of the Knicks.
Damn.
Anybody listening to this podcast that doesn't know about Knicks basketball, they're not gonna search anybody.
That's
else
kind of
up.
rough for me.
That's why it's a good question. So that's what we do here.
So,
we make it rough for people. No, we don't do that. Not on their account.
So I gotta say Walt Frazier because he got a chip and I met him.
Oh, you met?
I met
Walt
Clyde Frazier. I got pictures with Walt Frazier. Dope as hell. Cool person too.
Do you have a picture available we can cut to?
I have a picture. Yeah.
Say it. You want to say it? You said it earlier.
What's that?
You've been controlling the editing, so you're the first guest to ever do that. So go ahead, go.
Picture with me and Clyde Frazier right here.
Yeah, my boy. I love that. It's a superpower.
And for me, because I watched him and I watched how he dominated as a scorer, I'm gonna say Carmelo Anthony. And
man.
And then, because I got like 2 of his jerseys signed.
You saw that post where people are saying they're erasing Carmelo from history. They're taking his name because of LaMelo Ball. They're taking his city because of Jalen Brunson. And they're taking his number on the Nuggets because the Jokic wears his number now on the Nuggets.
No, unpopular opinion, he's the best scorer. And
unpopular opinion, I love Carmelo and
NBA history.
The game, there's supposed to be legends that don't win. They're supposed to. It's like Kobe's my favorite of all time, not one of my favorite of all time. There's greats that have never smelled the finals because of Kobe. There's greats that have never smelled success because of Kobe. Allen Iverson, Tracy McGrady, those guys are like, bro, there's guys like this playing. I'm never gonna have a chance, and that's the point. That's the reason. Yeah, and Jordan had his too. Jordan had Clyde Drexler, the guy with the bald spot. Cut to an episode with me and Shadi talking about that.
That's the GOAT.
Cut back. My dad just said that's the GOAT. Clyde Drexler. Hilarious. The first time you ever heard anybody in real life say that Clyde Drexler is the GOAT.
Honorable mention too, also because there's no Melo without Bernard King. So I gotta mention Bernard King because Bernard King slept on.
That's crazy. That's a great four. The Fantastic Four.
You want me to just add a fifth?
Add a fifth? You love it. I love it. Give it to me right now. Come on. What is? Pause. Who's the 5?
Oh, definitely John Starks.
Damn, that's Chico Mars, man.
Fan
my childhood
favorite.
best friend. That's one of his favorite players of all time. Yeah. That is pretty crazy, John Starks.
Fun fact, which I think is cool. When I got on Shadi's album, you probably got it on the list though. But the first album or the second album I'm on, I got a song featured with Shadi on his album, and he got a song
Pintura
called.
Roja.
He got a
Streaming
song.
everywhere
He got a song called Allen Houston Game Winner, which I think is dope.
Such a great song.
That the
Has
only
to- yeah,
song that
yeah.
he got on there, referencing sports, is a Knicks player, and I'm on that album. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and his concept about it is that song made him stop caring about sports, because when he saw that happen, he was like, I'm done with sports. Yeah, I didn't get to actually ask him about it on the podcast, but our conversation was already kind of talking about basketball, and I'm going to save it for our next podcast. But yeah, that's crazy. I bring it up with you about it, though, because it's how do you feel about sports? Because you're a Knicks fan. You love Knicks. You're wearing the Knicks right now. You're nicked out.
Oh, basketball changed my life.
This is crazy.
There's a bunch of alarms going on.
Basketball
Feels
changed
like-
your life. Basketball's poetry, and it's entertainment.
No, basketball changed my life. I think 90% of the people I know through playing basketball. 90%.
But 90% of the people you know play basketball?
No, 90% of the people I met in my life is through basketball. I grew up in the park, so
90% of the people in your life?
that I know, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Me, my dad,
You fall in that
OG
10%.
white boy.
You fall in that 10% of that I
all
didn't.
three of us do.
Of
My dad.
if it wasn't for playing the game of basketball or being liking the game of basketball, I don't meet
Wait,
a lot.
no, hold on. You just stated boldly 90% of the people in your life you met through basketball.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How much did you
One
play
week.
basketball in your life?
Since middle school.
Yeah, the game.
Middle
Have
school.
you been a team, but hold on,
Middle
hold
school
on,
till
no, no, no.
20?
When I mean play, like question. So you were on a team till middle school.
I played in park. So if anybody who grew up in Hialeah Parks,
Yeah,
I
but like
was-
pickup games.
that too.
No, but like I'm saying on a team, like with condition practice, you're like in a bracket, you're in a schedule, you're in a league playing
The
against
park
other teams.
leagues.
Park leagues.
Yeah. But
How long did you do park leagues for?
8, 9 years? From the age of 11 to 18, 19?
Okay, so right after high school. So even through high school and after high school.
Before.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying,
11.
but like I'm trying to
From
figure out
ele-
the end. I'm trying to set
The
like
end,
ending
the
to it.
end, the end
After
never
high school.
ends.
No,
Oh,
you're always playing basketball, bro. But I'm asking, being on a collegiate team, like being on like.
I didn't play collegiate basketball.
Right, but if not, like being on a like an organized team. Organized.
Yeah, I
is-
played
is
organized,
the
where
word
you
I'm
got
trying to get to,
practice and yeah. You got coaches and 90% of the people that I'm cool with and I met is through basketball. Basketball was the outlet of like having something. That's why I'm so like obsessed with basketball
That was
because
a social network.
That was a social network.
basketball was a
speaking
social
of,
network.
And speaking of basketball and your love for it, you've been to so many Knicks games. One time I went to a Knicks game by myself randomly, like just to watch the Heat and the Knicks play, and this guy was there with on a date,
Amazing.
and I was like, look at this guy, and randomly, it was so cool. He actually took a picture of me super wasted with one of my favorite comedians, Sam Morril. Shout out my guy. We're gonna cut to it right here. Yeah, you see, I could do that too. It's my podcast. Anyways, yeah, he actually took the picture for me, my boy, man. Thank you so much for doing that. But I wanted to ask you, what are some of your favorite Knicks games you've been to? Give me two.
There's no
You've been
better.
to a lot.
There's
right?
no better Knicks Heat
How many
game.
games? Do you know how many games you've been to? No, it doesn't have to be Heat because you go to New York and you're about to go to New York right now to see the playoffs with the Knicks. You're about to see the Knicks
went
beat
to
the
LA.
Pacers, according to you.
Yeah. Don't put Reggie Miller on the bottom of the screen right now.
What him?
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's he's still gonna do it. By the way, he's still gonna do it.
Now I am.
The best game
Now
I ever went to live to watch a Knicks Heat game was the Julius Randle game winner last year.
Is that your favorite Knicks game live? Do you like it
Yes.
more in New York? Did you have a better moment in Madison?
No, that was my favorite game I ever watched live.
And it was Julius Randle what?
Hitting the game winner on the right side against the Heat, and it was literally at the buzzer, 1-1.
Guess what we're going to do? Cut to it.
Yeah.
And we're back.
I wish I had the date, but it was last year, February.
No, we
Great.
just cut to it right now with the date on it.
Yeah,
so
yeah, great
that's the
game.
power of so what's a dream Nick right now? The way the Knicks are balling, I just told you off air that I think they should trade Randall. What do you want the Knicks to do right now if they don't make the finals? And even if they do make the finals, if they make the finals, you want them to keep the team as is?
They always talking about we need a star or we hunting for a star.
What kind of star?
We have him.
Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson
What
is
does he need
the
for help?
one-
What's the help he needs? Luka, I love Luka. Perfect example. I didn't think he needed Kyrie. I didn't think it was gonna work. Him and Kyrie worked perfectly. What do you think complements Jalen Brunson? What would help him? Joel Embiid, Giannis, KD.
Nah, just
Give me one dream, Nick, to join them right now in this offseason if they don't get to the playoffs. I mean, if they don't get to the finals and win, and even if they do win, how do you make that better? I think Julius Randle's going to get traded, but I want to hear you because you're the Knicks guy. You're the next Spike Lee. Spike Lee.
I like Devin Booker.
Wow, I saw that post recently. I never thought about it. That's cool. That's really interesting. That's really cool. He played with them too in college? He was part of that Villanova group? No. Okay.
I think he's Kentucky.
Yeah, they have the same kind of colors.
Yeah.
White and blue. But yeah, man, that'd be cool. I never thought about that, but I saw a social media post that they would complement each other. A good point guard that's ice cold-blooded, and a good shooting guard who's ice cold-blooded. That'd be kind of cool for basketball. I didn't realize Devin Booker was a Chico until like last season. I was kind of upset. I've been an anti-Booker guy for a while, and I feel always bad going against Chicos, but sometimes you got to do it because I'm a Laker guy. What is Linsanity? Quick, for somebody who's never heard of it. OG White Boys probably never heard of Linsanity.
2 weeks of Jeremy Lin doing some insane, taking over the NBA, being what?
Can we say Linsane?
Linsane, being the 13th guy on the team. I think somebody. It must
13th guy on the team.
Yeah, 13th or 14th guy. I think Mike Bibby got hurt.
Wow, that's crazy. He's
like
replacing Mike Bibby?
Yeah.
Or a bunch of injuries.
Or a matter of fact, no, wait. I probably misquoted.
Too.
Baron Davis got hurt that year.
Melo got hurt.
And I think... there
was a time
Tony Douglas got hurt.
And Carmelo was out a couple times.
Carmelo was out for like 2 weeks.
Crazy. So
it was by the way, Linsanity was only a 2 week thing.
Isn't that crazy? Jeremy Lin won a championship and not Carmelo.
You count that?
What do you mean?
Well, he was
one of the greatest championships of all time.
Toronto?
That's one of the greatest championships of all time. I love basketball.
That's
man.
subjective.
I don't disregard anybody, especially on the bubble championship.
On that run,
gotta say it for those listening.
And the in season.
Huh?
Shout out to the in season.
Whatever, in season's a new thing. I don't care. Just like the in season champion and who cares about that? It's about winning. It's about winning and championships. It's about rings and success and the combination of success and rings. Because look, Wilt has 10 rings. They didn't have a 3-pointer. Who cares? Jordan has 6 rings. He played against plumbers.
I'm okay with 1 in my lifetime.
For the Knicks?
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a beautiful statement.
I want cool one so bad.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. I love the Lakers because they introduced me to the idea of basketball. And then I got back into basketball when they were defending after they had gone back-to-back with Pau Gasol. And they didn't do the three-peat.
Top 5 Lakers of all time.
I love that. My podcast, and he's going to ask me questions. I'm going to give it to you now. Kobe 1. Number 2 is Kareem. Number 3 is Magic. Number 4 is LeBron. Number 5 is... Oh, no. Take back number 4. Who can I put against LeBron? Because it's like... It's tough.
No, you can leave him there.
No, he's 5 unless he wins another championship. Man, mentira, he's 4. I love LeBron, man. He's my dog. LeBron's 4. And you know what? LeBron's 3. We're asking... My favorite Lakers of all time, or like for the world?
Well, I would,
because that's an important differentiation.
No. You could pick your favorite.
All right, this is my favorite. It's Kobe 1, Kareem 2, Magic 3. I'm gonna give LeBron. LeBron's the better Magic, and I saw LeBron play. LeBron 3, Magic 4, 5 is Shaq. No, Shaq 4, Magic 5. Yeah. Yeah.
How about Lakers 5 that you seen?
Man, you know what? I gotta change this. I'm sorry. I'm so bad, guys. The real order is Kobe 1, Kareem 2, Shaq 3, LeBron 4, Magic 5. That's the real order. I'm so wrong for that. Shaq is the first memory I ever have in my life of basketball. Ever in my life. I thought it was fake. I thought it was like WWE. I thought it was like Hulk Hogan. I was like, this is fake. The guy's letting him dunk on him, right? They set this up. They were practicing this, right? Just like fake wrestling.
I used to hate Shaq till I seen him watch him dominate the Nets, and I was rooting for him.
Because you didn't like the Nets?
No. Well, it's not that I didn't like. I actually like Kenyon Martin, but
no, the team at the top. I hate the Clippers. The Clippers, if you're listening, and I know you are, I hate them.
You have to grow to love Shaq. By the way, me and Shaq got the same birthday, so I'm fucking with Shaq.
Birthday? Oh, you want to put it out there? Oh, now everybody knows. Whatever.
Yeah. Me and Shaq got the same birthday. I fuck with Shaq all day.
That's crazy. I don't know what Shaq's birthday is, so I don't know your birthday, but it's already out there. They know. You guys listening. Well, that's crazy. So we already did the psychological with Skilo. Let's touch on that because I just learned about that before the podcast.
Oh, yeah, Climb Out. Yeah. Shout out to Skilo.
Which is on Music Mogul.
Yeah, Music Mogul's
aggregator to put out music, correct?
correct.
Okay, and Skilo, I wish I was a baller. I wish I was Tyler. Crazy, we're talking about basketball. It's like perfect timing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the first artist on that platform, Music Mogul.
First,
Number one,
Legends.
Pro.
Bro!
Claim it.
God, I love it. I love when my guests have fun. I love that.
I mean, that's
fun.
what
I
it
love
is.
You're leading into it. You're having fun. I love that. That makes me feel so good. That's what I do this for. And it's kind of selfish because I say it all the time. Like, at first I was like, yeah, it's a platform for my guests. And then I had to correct myself after like 2 days of saying that. I was like, it's not just a platform for my guests. It's also for me to talk too. But I love when my guests have fun and do that.
I have a question I want to throw at you. You think the word selfish is a bad word?
No, you have to be selfish. Selfish is a great thing. You need to be selfish. I have friends that always ask me to go out, and I can't. I'm selfish. I need to work. I have to do a podcast. I have to go to the gym. I have to be with my family. I have to walk my dog. I have to be with my dog. I have to cuddle my dog. I have to watch a movie with my dog. I have to feed my dog. I have a bird. I have to feed my bird. I have to hang out with my bird. I have a sister, a mom.
Nobody gonna do it but you.
I have to be the best version of me. To give you the best. That's why you want to hang out with
The
me.
animals you talking about, the actual animals?
Yeah, I have a bird and
Okay.
2 dogs. Paco or Paca.
Had to make
I have
sure.
a transgender bird. I have a bird that we thought was a girl, then we thought it was a boy, then we thought now we know it's a girl.
Well, I had a parrot back in the days. We called
Yeah,
the parrot baby because we wasn't sure.
I have a Calanina Macau, which is technically a parrot.
Yeah, baby was ahead of the game.
I say bird. He's my dog though.
Non-binary.
She's my dog. Wait.
The bird, the parrot, we don't know what it was. It was non-binary.
Oh, you didn't figure it out. Yeah. No, we know because she started laying. She's nerve wracked, so she's laying eggs without having sex. She's having like asexual eggs. Crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the exact term. I say
you
asexual.
took it too far.
Yeah, no, it's not too far. Asexual is the term that they use for lizards when they grow their own tails, and I think lizards could have eggs without having sex. I think I could be completely wrong about this. So that's why I said I think they have he's laying asexual
It's
eggs.
usually in the food.
Huh?
It's usually in the food.
It's in the food
Yeah, they get
that makes them.
actually food you can put in the chicken feeds that makes them lay eggs. They don't need a rooster.
Well, this is a Catalina Macau. This is a parrot. This guy doesn't lay eggs. This guy's just big monster. That
Yeah,
talks.
but the same thing that food does
he
to
sings.
yeah.
He
It's a
speaks
hormone.
Spanish
Yeah,
and
yeah.
English. He's bilingual. He speaks Spanish and English. He says hello. He says ua. It's crazy. Yeah. I'm gonna get a clip of him doing that. So we're gonna do the big three. We've talked about so much. It's that time. It's that time of the day. It's that time of the night. It's that time of the cast that we get into the draft. Big three for your bleep. We're gonna do big three today. We talked about things beforehand. Do you want to call the shots? You've done so much today.
Big three.
It's basically the procast.
The Procast.
TPC. What do you want to do?
The big three. I mean, I guess we could.
No, not I guess. What do you want, dude? If there's something that you have a good three that you feel solid about, you want to do it because you were giving me all kinds of ideas and you're all over the place. If not, I'm gonna pick one right now. The top first one.
No, I'm letting you pick one. I gotta give it to the air.
Top 3 hip hop movies all time.
Top 3 hip hop movies.
Guest always starts first. And hip hop doesn't necessarily mean that it's a movie just about hip hop. For an example, Dope, that recent movie that A$AP Rocky came out in. It's a movie about a kid going through things. He has like drugs in his book bag or something like that. But it's a hip hop movie. Tyga, all these people come out in it. There's a whole hip hop moment where A$AP Rocky educates the main character. He's like, you think you know hip hop because you just read all these things online, but you don't know about these other things. You're just kind of like a culture vulture. And it's a slippery slope. That crazy scene.
I get first pick.
Yeah, guest always gets first pick. That's how we do it here. We're gentlemen. My mom raised me right, and my dad. And my abuela. And my abuelos.
Top
and my
pick
other abuela.
in the draft is Juice.
Wow, that's a great example for a hip hop movie that's not necessarily all hip hop, but it's a hip hop movie. Juice, I love that. Great, awesome. Hustle and Flow is my first. Just to get it out of the way. It's a reoccurring theme here. I've said I liked it before. I'm gonna say I like it again.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
I've also said on the podcast that movie came out on my birthday. That would have been my second pick. Great pick. Wow. That's awesome, man. That's good. Now I got to think. That's good. Hip-hop movies. Oh, Straight Outta Compton. What a movie.
The third one's going to throw people off, but it's super hip-hop to me, especially of who's in it. Lauryn Hill's in this movie. It's Sister Act.
Wow.
Hip hop. Because if you remember the ending of the movie, they do some hip hop.
Sister Act, right? That's
Yeah.
what you just said. The
Whoopi
church
Go-
movie, Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah,
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 I love
facts.
Sister Act too.
Yeah, shout outs to Whoopi. She
That
was
is
the
hilarious.
first female coach. She was in the movie Eddie, where she coached the Knicks. So I gotta say Sister Act. One or two.
That's funny.
That's a
bro.
full circle moment.
That's
Which is the one with Lauren?
Sister
Lord,
Act.
it wasn't it one or two? I don't know.
It's one. You just said.
It has to be one.
Well, we're gonna have it right here.
Oh Happy Day. There's actually one of the songs on there.
Oh,
That's a classic
Happy
movie. That's a
Day.
hip hop movie.
Yeah, it is. That's very hip hop. I'm kind of stuck on my third though. I wanna
You got a few. You need.
Friday.
Ooh,
That's good.
that's
You
a
know
good.
what? First time ever. We're doing so many firsts on this podcast. Jesus Christ. This is
Like
the
in the 90s, wasn't it? Friday?
That could be a
the
number
cherry
one. Yeah.
cherry popping with Pro. That's the name of the title. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do titles yet, but if I do, it's gonna be cherry popping with Pro. Yeah, Friday. I'm gonna let OG White Boy with the honorary third pick here. It's gonna be Friday is my third pick. Friday 1 or Friday 2? I kind of like Friday 2 up there. Friday 2 is really cool.
Friday 2 is not better than Friday 1.
Yeah, I love it, but I love it though. The fight, but nobody ever.
Well, no, I can't even say that,
because
'cause
I
I
guess I
like
like
that.
to go against the grain, but it's good.
That
It's
chicken's
fun.
so good and make you want to slap your mama.
That's what I'm saying. There's so many memorable moments, and it's like it's just the dog, the Chicos. It's so good. It's awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna do Friday. I'm gonna just do Friday 1.
Me and your pops actually spoke. We need to do like the Spanish version all the way of a Friday.
Bien.
That'd be dope.
Hey, bueno, we finished with the message for the people, the pros, the bros, the sisses, everybody, the professionals out there. What's the message you want to put out there for the world right now for this episode today? Just one message. It could be anything. It could be positive, negative, motivational, non-motivational. Just be something you want people to educate or watch. We've already done. People, go check this out. So all my guests that have done it before, shout out to you all guests. I love when you guys do that too, because we're promoting you guys, but you don't necessarily got to do that, but whatever you want. Anything, just one thing.
My message it would be
What?
Pick you first. We was picking top 3 and pick your draft and pick you first. That's the last message.
Dare I say another full circle moment? That's the third time we've done a full circle moment on this podcast. What an episode, man. I love it. Guys, thanks for listening. Another one of the books. We'll see you next week. Peace. What was that?
Sliding in the studio, my album coming soon.